Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Lesky Farm. And look at this magnificent, beautiful morning we woke up to today. The mists and the sun and whatnot. It's August. And judging by the color of our grain, we have our fields ready for harvest. Which is a grand occasion. I always love the harvest. It's one of the best things to do on the farm. So yeah, look at that. This beautiful field. It looks perfect. In any case, yeah, we gotta take care of this. I did get some guys come over because I ordered them to rip out the tires, you know, from the old silage pit. It's not like a pit, it's more like a silage place. But yeah, they're already there working on that. I'm gonna take things to sell points as usual. Have to go from this side. Yeah, beautiful cows are enjoying. And yeah, some guys have arrived. They're gonna rip out all the tires here, so we're gonna have a clear space. And there is one other thing that I wanted to do, and that is I have quite a lot of front loader tools now. So I have pallet forks, I have manure forks, I have a bucket, and I have a bale spike. And I kept leaving them all around the place. So I actually decided I'm gonna get some kind of a shelf, and it's gonna be put right there where the old animal transporter is. And yeah, that old animal transporter is redundant now because we have a bigger one. But just so you know, I'm gonna do that today. In any case, I'll load up these pallets. I'll stop at the sheep, load up what they have, and then we'll see you at the sell points. First stop, the spinnery. As usual, we always make our first stop at spinnery. So that's 600 and something, and there's a whole full pallet of another 1,500, so around 2,000 for the wool. And then I'll see you at the pub. And another 1,166 pounds. Meantime, all the vending machines are filled up, so we are ready to go back to the farm. The guys that took out the tires from the old silage bunker pit, they had the price of 350 pounds for digging the tires up and taking them to the dump. So when I come home, I have to pay them that sum, and then I desperately need to sort out a few things before I start harvesting. First thing is I need to take the water trailer, refill it, and refill the garden we have. It's running quite low on water. And then I need to bring more water to the sheep. I need to feed my chicken, and after that I hope I'll be able to take the van and go get that shelving unit, as I've said, for the front loader implements. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that before I harvest or after I harvest, but I am quite positive I'm gonna do that today. Because I really want to make my farm neat, you know. Even though it's old, the buildings are very old. And that doesn't mean it has to be trashed, no. when someone comes to visit, it doesn't have to look like a heap of something. I'm not gonna say what. But yeah, that's things. So you know what, I might just use this van to do all my water transporting, and I can at the same time go and load up with that shelving unit. Can I move this trailer with the van? Oh, it looks like it has the other attachment type, the pin attacher. Okay, so if I park and here, I guess it's gonna be out of the way enough for me to do all the things. And I'm gonna take my Land Rover because it's way more maneuverable and it's quite smaller than the van. And it has a pin hitch type, so I can actually do all the things I want to do. And of course this baby deserves a bit of a leg stretch, so that's the other thing, you know. You gotta keep your machines running, otherwise they seize. Yeah, perfect. Like a glove. So where do I want to put this? As I've said, this trailer is actually redundant. I don't need it anymore. But I still might use it sometimes, so let me just park it here for the time being. I think it's not in the way. And yeah, and the shelving unit is gonna go here. It's gonna be undercover, which is one of the things I want to do, you know, have things stored and away from the elements. Because this is how your implements last. Let me transport the milk while I'm at it. Around 850 liters. Yeah, you can see we have all these attachers lying around, which does not make us look good. It really doesn't. Let's put the milk in the production and turn the trailer. Then I'm gonna make my way to the sheep pen because our water bowser is parked over there, and I'll take it here, refill the garden, and then I'm gonna take a full load of water to the sheep, fill their watering trough. Yeah. Then it'll be time for me to go get the shelving unit, and after that I think I can dig in the fields. The weather is looking nice. There's no rain forecasted for today, so I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, see you in a second. Alright, so I have topped up the water bowser here completely. By the way, this is how the old silage pit looks like now. It's a nice open space. Maybe I'll build a shed over here. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But a shed would be nice, you know. I could maybe store some of my bales here. The silage bales. And while I was looking at the grassland, it seems like the grass has regrown completely from our last cutting, which means we are now basically ready to do another cut. I won't do it today, because I have my harvest in session and I won't be able to do everything in the amount of time I have available. But I'll definitely do it at least in October. And I'm gonna make another batch of silage bales that should last us throughout the winter. Alright, already at the sheep pen. Yeah, the water trough looks half empty, so I'll top it up. Don't want to have my sheep running out of water. And let's leave this here. So they are going through the grass that's growing quite quickly. They're not messing about. Hungry sheep. I have no clue how many animals we have or what the capacity of this place is. Yes, I know. Hi, a little one. You want some pit? You want some pit? Yeah, so I don't know how many sheep this pen will hold, but I guess they are still quite fine. Maybe I'll have to bring a bale or two here just to make sure they have enough of feed to last them. Right, next up is gonna be getting the shelves. Alright, so this is it. It was very easy to put together. So it's just a table basically made, or the frame made out of metal and some wood on top for unloading stuff. And the previous owner actually used these holes. Well, I'll start the other way. They had pallets on top and they could drive their wheelbarrow underneath and refill their wheelbarrow and take the materials elsewhere. I'm not gonna use it for that. It was fairly cheap. It was 150 pounds, and I also sent 350 pounds to the guys that took out the tires. So yeah, it's 11 AM and I'm behind on my harvesting schedule. So let me quickly park this out of the way. Get it in. It's kinda hard to see. Okay, perfect. I'll get my beautiful old combine out. Hello, Mr. Fahr. How you been? How have you been? And I fear I neglected it a little bit. It's very dirty. But it starts on cue. And the hydraulics still work. I forgot on which side the fuel tank is. Oh, it's over here. I'll have to refill it before I put it in the field. Okay. Slowly. Good. Yeah, this combine is definitely gonna deserve a good old blowout with the blower at the end. Let's reach. You know what? I'm not sure if it will. Go a little bit closer. Turn her off. Don't want to have any trouble. Fill her up. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, that was close. Luckily, I didn't break anything off. Yeah. So because I don't want this episode to go on forever, I will only show you a few snippets of harvesting and of unloading and transporting all the stuff to the grain bin storage. The handle back, turn the pump off, and here we go. Yeah, I really should invest in a bigger combine. Maybe not bigger as such, but maybe a bit newer. Because I don't know. This might get very expensive to maintain, that's my fear. Right. I'll leave it warming up a bit. And I'll get the trailer. And I have to set it up for grain transport. Yeah, that's another thing I need to do. Which tractor I'm gonna take? Take the bent one. Yeah, you know, this harvest season is very tough to do when you're alone on a farm. It would help if I'd have, well, a helper. And alright. Let's turn you off. I'm gonna set it up for grain transport, and for that I need my toolbox. So I've sorted out the trailer. It has the correct customization option, or options option. And now let's get to the good part. Do I need to... Yep. Open this. And start her up. I'm thinking the combine's gonna need quite a good service sometime soon. Since I didn't do much on it. Oh man, look at that, it's struggling. Oh well, is what it is. But buying a new combine, that's gonna be an issue. On the other hand, we are filling quite nicely, I think. Yeah. Looks like a very healthy crop. Let's set this to some manageable speed. This is gonna take a lot of loads. The cutter is doing well, it seems. Yeah, but I really have to sort out my machine. It's probably gonna need a big service. Take the whole engine apart and everything, you know. So it might not be a dumb idea to write down a memo of some sort, because, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And since this harvester is usually closed up in that shed, it's completely out of sight and of course completely out of mind. Which, looking back, is a flaw. And there's two ways forward now, so I can learn from it, or I can continue with my weakness. How are we doing? Okay. Still no grain to be seen. At least I'm out in fresh air, right? At least I have that. Alright, so that's gonna be half of... Oh, look at that. And how fast it's filling. Wow. I guess the yield is exceptionally well this year. Very good. And the engine cut out. Alright. Ooh. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can see some issues up ahead. I can see some trouble. Calling my name. Hope there's enough space on the left side for a tractor to get under, because I think at the rate this is filling, it's gonna reach the top very soon. Yeah, no kidding. But yeah. You know what, a thought occurred that is not a very pleasant thought, that this field is practically level. And I seem to be having big issues moving. You know, sometimes the harvester almost crawls to a stop. What's gonna happen when I come to the new field, which is definitely on a slope? Yeah, as I said, I'm not a fortune teller, but I predict some issues up ahead. Yikes. Right, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll unload this load, and then I'll continue harvesting, probably off screen. And while I do that, I'm gonna call around if someone has a harvester I could borrow, or maybe pay them to do the work, you know. Rent a harvester, yeah, that's the expression I was looking for. And if that's possible, I will probably go that route, you know. There's no use in... And I crashed into the auger. Yeah. Definitely, two lights are broken. Not good. Okay, can I fit underneath now? Do it like this and then come more on this side. Yeah, I completely forgot that this harvester is actually very low to the ground. And now I'm trying to reverse a dolly trailer in the middle of the field. And a very narrow point of the field for that. This is definitely not going my way. Issues. Okay. Yeah, this tractor is too high for this combine harvester. Can I actually see? Let's try. Okay. Just a little bit of shuffling and I should be able to unload. How much trouble because, you know, the equipment is not compatible. Christ. Right. Yeah, okay. I'm also gonna change the tractor that pulls this trailer for this job. In any case, I will see you probably very quickly. This is load number 2. So I'm gonna take a different route. I'm gonna drive the tractor underneath it first and then open the auger. This way it should fit. But I've been looking at different options and there are some class combines available. The cheapest one on market. As I was saying, the cheapest one on market is around $36,000 pounds. Excuse me. So you know, it's not too expensive, but it's still quite expensive. So I don't know. You know, I'm thinking of simply storing this combine in a shed for the foreseen future, and then simply renting out the combine when I need it. I might have a few calls around because I know there are some farms that actually rent out their equipment. They come with the driver, of course. Nobody wants to give an expensive machine like that to someone else to handle, so yeah, gotta see what I can do. I'll try to make another pass for this and yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll probably give up, to be honest. This doesn't feel like it's worth it anymore. I was turning around and the Fahr combine harvester died on me. I can't get any life out of it. I can't get it start back up, so yeah. While I was trying that, I did call there was a site online and they said that they actually have combine harvesters you can rent. So I called them and they are gonna be here shortly. I really do hope so, because there's quite a time constraint issue here. I really need this field and the other one harvested. Now there is another thing. I did ask them about the actual size of the combine harvester because I have narrow gates all around. And they said they're gonna send the smallest one our way. But we're still not completely sure if it's gonna fit. Problem yes, problem no. So there's nothing else to do. I'm gonna have to wait till they come here and then we'll see what's up. Yeah, that's highly unfortunate. In any case, I'm gonna go make myself a cup of coffee. And I guess we be able to continue. Alright, they're already here. So I didn't get to... I didn't have enough time to make myself that coffee, but... It's gonna be a tight fit. Gonna be a very tight fit. How will they even? The driver went ahead and checked out the... Yeah, there's no way. No way a trailer like this with the combine in front is gonna fit. Okay. Right. He's probably gonna have to take the trailer off and then maybe reverse in. Just a little bit more space from this side. Oh man. This farm is really not designed for machines like this. Look at that. This is the smallest they've got. Just take that in. This is the smallest they've got. And I'm here with my prehistoric combine. Yeah. Anyway, let me take the camera out so we can sort everything out. Well, props to the driver. He actually managed to get the combine in. He did have to reverse in the end. And I'm thinking this Ferguson would be better if I try to use this one to take it in. Try and take this front loader off. Beautiful. Yeah, this one is smaller and it should work better with hauling that trailer in, even though it's gonna be a project, I believe, because we have a hedge on one side. That hedge is not even mine, so I can't cut it down. And then we have the stone wall, dry wall, which I also can get rid of, so yeah. Look at how long it is. This is probably gonna take all my wits to get in. I will not lie, I am kind of doubtful. And you know, if I have trouble getting it in here, what does that mean for the other field? Okay, so the axles are the pivot point. So Rostel mesh. Rost cell mesh. Never heard of it. Seems like it's not gonna work. Maybe I need to get more on this side, closer to this edge. I'm definitely not a professional driver, but I'll do my best. So this is the biggest turn I can make. We're looking on this side. Nope. Okay. So try number 1, this isn't gonna work like I imagine it would. Let's try and go front in. Man, the precious time is ticking away. Okay, so get it in. I want to hug this side as much as I possibly can. Oh, it pivots, you know, and then the back end. Hello, kind sir. Would you mind? Okay, this might work. That's so tight. Who had thought? We're in. Wow. Yeah. So thinking about this, I really need to make sure that I have a well-serviced combine harvester next season, or I find another solution. Yeah, in any case, I'm gonna let the guy do his thing, and I'm gonna show you a few snippets. Whoops. I missed that the driver has put the auger out. I've been deep in my thought, you know, thinking what I'm gonna do in the future. But yeah, the combine is having quite a field day. And it's plenty high enough for this tractor to go under. Yeah, nice. So after we're done with this field, we have to tackle the other one, which is going to be, well, at least I'm expecting it's going to be quite a challenge to get in and get out. If nothing else, the challenge is gonna be how I get the trailer with the header in without destroying too much crop. I don't think that's avoidable though. Yeah, we just about got the whole field in the trailer. Very nice. I need to... you know what, I'm gonna dump a bit to the chickens, because I forgot to feed them earlier. So let's see, we have set tip side on the right. Let's do it that. Come on, chicken, get out of the way. Okay. Right, okay, there, all sorted out now. And we still have basically a full trailer. Let me get everything ready for unloading. Wait. Now the real challenge. How do I get all this in that small field over there? That's gonna be the real one. One for the books. Yeah, I should really change the trailer to something else, shouldn't I? I'm getting myself. Okay. Let's dump her out. And let's park right here. I hope it's out of the way enough. Yeah, it should be. Oh man, this day is something else. Let me quickly run back, and before I go in, well, I mean before the driver goes in with the combine harvester, I should get this in the field, otherwise we're gonna make a big mess. Well, I'm gonna go in front and he could come after me and try and get in the field as nicely as possible. Okay, so remember, passo not too tight because of the tail swing. So far so good. I've been driving and I've been looking at the smokestack. The smoke is quite dark, you know. Oh man, I hope this tractor isn't gonna die on me also. Yeah, I seem to be having quite a lot of trouble lately with my vehicles. And believe it or not, I'm actually flooring it right now. This is all that it's got. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be tricky. So the hitch is on the right side, which, well, left side if I'm looking in the direction of travel. So let's pull the trailer in and reverse it. So the combine's gonna be able to hitch to it. Not enough space to do everything. Well, I got no choice. I have to go into the field. Sadly, I'm quite disappointed about it, but it is what it is. This is our situation this year. And this tree here really doesn't help. Yeah, of course. my tire on it. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm starting to get some frustration in my voice. Right, okay, I'm gonna wait for the combine to arrive and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I ran back home to get the trailer and the tractor. What am I gonna do with that Deutz Fahr? Oh, it was only Fahr. Far from solution. But yeah, I really need to find something that will work for these narrow farms and narrow entrances. I do remember that I have seen some headers that actually fold up, you know, so you carry them in front of the combine. But I'm not sure how much power they take. Because, you know, if they take too much power, those regular old combines I can afford won't be able to run it. So I got no clue. Luckily, I have almost a year to solve this problem. But you know, it's not. It's very suboptimal to be frank. I don't know. Because, you know, bigger combines have more power, but this is almost at the top limit what I can get through those gates. At my farm, at least. Maybe if I make another entrance to the field, that would be different, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to do it. Gonna wait till he goes up and down, and then I'm gonna go under him to unload. So in case you've forgotten, this is actually oat field, and I planted this because I have the capability of producing oat drink. That's kind of a substitute for milk. So yeah, this is the reason why I planted oat in this field. Look at the guy. How cool he is. Oh, I missed a bit here. I'm sure he'll clean up. Oh man, but yeah. Okay, he should have enough space to clean up the whole field, so just turn off the tractor. Well, actually on the other side. Put it right here. Alright, this is it. Oh, before I forget, let me send the money to the company. They charge 1,500 for renting for the afternoon with the driver, so let me take care of that real quick. Good. Okay, so we got about half a trailer of oat. It's not great, but it's also not bad, you know. It's okay. I have no clue how much oat drink we'll get from this, or oat milk. That's a better expression. But whatever we get, it's gonna be a bit of an experiment, you know. I want to see if it's worth doing it or not. We still get the straw. I'll probably mostly sell the straw, since I still have from the previous harvests a few bales lying around the farm, so I don't think I'll need it. But yeah. Since I believe this episode is running for a very long time already, I'm only going to dump this in. I hope it will accept it like this. Again, with the dolly trailer. Yeah. Come on. Okay, so I'll dump all the oat in. I'll park the tractor in the shed. And I'll take a nice little evening stroll to get the Massey Ferguson. I'm gonna leave the Dois Fahr where it is. It's in no danger of being taken away since, you know, it doesn't run. So there's always something good in the bad. Take this off. Close these gates, and yeah, this is gonna be it for this episode. It was quite an eventful one. But in any case, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun. And we'll see you in the next vlog. Take care and goodbye.